Okay, the next step is etching. And let's start out with the setup. This is our splash tray. I've got probably about an inch of water in it. This is going to be my etching tray, or my etching tank. What I've done is I've taken the board and I put it in there and tilted it, put it crossways. You don't want it to sit flat, and I'll explain why in a minute. But I marked the height on the board, marked the board height on the outside of the container, and then took the board out. And to measure the volume, I put water in it to just above where the board was, because we want it submersed. And I measured that water, and that's about 1 cup and 1/4 of a cup, so 1 1/4 cup. I filled it with 1/3 of a cup of water and added a tablespoon and marked the first line. That's how much acid we need. The ratio is 1 part muriatic acid, 2 parts hydrogen peroxide. Another name for muriatic acid is hydrochloric acid. That's the acid in your stomach. It's also what Drano is generally made of. But the best way to get muriatic acid is you can buy it by the gallon in the hardware store. As I understand, it's used to treat concrete. I'm not a concrete guy, so I'll just have to take their word for it. 1 part muriatic acid, so I added 1/3 of a cup and a tablespoon. And then I added 2/3 and 2 more tablespoons of water, because with my measuring, I'm just after volume, and I marked the line on here. And that keeps me from having a dedicated set of measuring cups to measure those chemicals. The hydrogen peroxide I'm not worried about, but if I'm going to measure the muriatic acid, I don't want to use my kitchen utensils to do that. I'm sure that my wife appreciates it, even if she doesn't know. So the next step, this is going to float until we get some stuff in it. Safety wise, you need to wear gloves, you need to wear glasses. It's recommended that you wear long sleeves, but you don't want something that's going to pass the liquid right through it. You know, after watching some of the veterinarian shows, they have those gloves that go all the way up to your shoulder. Maybe that'd be a good idea, but I don't know any veterinarians. If it splashes, you can dilute it with water. We're going to pour it over the splash tank, because if it doesn't make it in the tank, we want it to be diluted in water. And I know I'm blocking those lines. I'm sorry. I'll show you in a second. I filled the muriatic acid up to the acid line. It is some foul stuff, and you want to do it where it's open. You don't want to do this in a closed room. Next, I'm going to add the hydrogen peroxide up to the next line.